boil the chicken. Add seasonings. Just some cheap onion powder, some cheap garlic powder, and some pepper. And put it in there and let it boil some more. I just have 4 thighs and leg pieces, and I usually just do a whole chicken, but this is what I had, so that's what I'm doing. I usually add chicken bouillon. This is usually in the Spanish section. I like this one because they are soft and they're easier to dissolve versus the other ones that are the hard, takes it a while to soften up in there. This pot's a little bit smaller than what I normally use. As you can see, you know, it's not very deep, I guess you would say. Here's my spoon. I'm not a good measurer, so, you know, not that size. I just shake salt, well, not salt, because these are salty. I put pepper, the onion powder, garlic powder. I just shake it in there and let it do its thing. This pot I'm probably going to only do 2. I might add 1 later. I'm not sure. Then I just let it boil. Okay, the chicken is smelling right. I just put the 2 chicken bouillon in there. I'm actually going to add, probably another 2 cups of water, just because it evaporates pretty quick. I actually might add some more, depending on how much it evaporates. This is going to be for my famous chicken and dumplings that anyone who's ever ate them has loved them and can't get enough of them. So, that's that on that. I started another pot of beef ribs in here. Actually, I'm just going to make a beef stock out of these and give the bones to the dog. So I just put, actually I'm going to put 2 beef bouillon, which is the same kind as the chicken, the quinoa, or however you say it, because they're softer and they're quicker to dissolve in there. I'm actually going to add some more water to that, and I just put same seasonings, the pepper, onion, and garlic powder, and just let it boil. And actually this one I'll boil probably till almost all the meat is off the bones, and then chop the meat up and use it for, you know, a quesadilla or something. We're rednecks, so we use whatever we got and throw it here and throw it there and mix it up and make it edible and get your belly full. Okay, here's the chicken broth with, you know, without the chicken. Here's the chicken over here. You can see the steam coming off. I'm going to sit here and pull it apart with the fork some so it can start cooling off. And then I can debone it and throw the bones away, because dogs can't have chicken bones. They will choke on it. And I love my daughter. She's 12 years old, a golden retriever black lab mix, and she does not get chicken bones. Here's the beef ribs that I put more water in, and the beef bouillon to start cooking. And this, I usually cook this in the afternoon, so it's, you know, 12:39 here in Arizona. And so I'm cooking this for supper, so usually I have this boiling and we tear biscuits, and I'll show you what specific biscuits here in a little bit, and then I drop them in here while the liquid is boiling. But since it's so early, I'm just going to end up letting this cool off and wait for this to cool off and debone, and then I'll get it to a rapid boil again when I go to put the dough in. So here I just got the 2 forks. Here's one here. I'm trying to hold the camera. And I just kind of scrape them apart. I pull the skin off and just kind of mostly put it to the side over here. And then I just kind of rip the meat off to let it cool. So when I go to debone it here in a little bit, it'll be cool enough that I can touch it with my hands and be able to pull the meat off easier. Okay, now I've deboned the chicken. There is okay to have a little bit of fat in it, the skin. This part here, I hate this part. It's like the gristle part, so you always want to make sure you get that out off the chicken. But if there is pieces with, you know, just a little bit of fat on it, that's too much there. But you'd want to discard that. You know, that's a little bit too much there, but you know, if there's a little piece that's in there, no big deal. I do like to squish mine just because I like mine in little chunks, and this way I can actually make sure I haven't missed any bones, because sometimes there's those little jaggedy pieces in there, and I hate to take a bite and find a bone in my chicken and dumplings. So I do that as well. And then just keep doing that, and I'll peel that off here in a minute. And then discard all that. The broth is still sitting here. Oh, it's been about an hour or so, I guess. My camera does not like to zoom that way. So it's not close enough for supper time yet, so I'll record a little bit more when we get to that point. And my beef ribs are still boiling. Okay, here's my beef stock cooking still. I took the ribs out. I've deboned them. There was 7, and this is how much meat I got off of it, which is not very much. But that was the point, so I could make a beef stock and make a little bit of meat, make a snacker. You know, there's 4 of us and got 2 teenage boys, so they inhale stuff. And some bones for the dog, my daughter. And so I'm going to redneck throw together something to snack with this meat. And I'll figure that out and then be back with you. Okay, well, here's the meat. And I just added some barbecue sauce, which, masterpiece. Here is our favorite, original or hickory. And then I just put some more Ritz crackers. Put some pepper jack cheese on the top. And we're going to call that a snack. Okay, now the broth is boiling again. And I am going to use the cheap buttermilk biscuits to tear into the chicken and dumplings for the dumplings. It makes it easier when you have extra hands. Just kind of tear it in little splotchies. Easy. Got to keep them moist so they don't stick to each other. And usually, my big pot, I usually use like 8 cans of biscuits. And it gives us a good bit of leftovers as well. Kind of push them down to cover them so they don't stick together. Usually I have both of my kids in here helping. One is injured, so he's taking a break. Okay, so as you can see, we're on can number, looks like 4 and 5, or 3 and 4. And the dumplings do get thick in the pot. They puff up to be dumplings. I've done homemade, hand rolled out ones like my mama taught me, but they ain't as good. And these are more puffy and soft and gooey and a lot better. Okay, here's the pot with 5 of the cheapest buttermilk biscuits that's at our store. Just tearing them up and keep pushing the fluid over the top to cook them. And then I'll taste one to see if the dough is done and see if it needs salt, which it usually does, but we don't use a lot of salt, so just put a little dash here and there. And then the chicken I've already got deboned from earlier that you've seen. So once the dumplings get a little bit closer, which they're just about there, I'll add the chicken, and hopefully it doesn't overflow because there's so much in here. And then I have one secret ingredient I add to it, and I will tell you the secret ingredient when I hit 10 subscribers. It's what makes it the best. So let your friends and family know, and so you can find out the secret ingredient and pass it along, because I've never had a person not like my chicken and dumplings. And I'm picky, and I like plain Jane. So it's easy, quick, simple. Well, I wouldn't say quick, but because of the process. But just start adding the chicken. And I usually don't add it all because I don't like a lot of chicken. I like more dumpling. But you gotta have the chicken flavor. And then I use the rest of the chicken for some other meal. And you just keep doing that, and then test it, add your salt, add the secret ingredient, and eat. And here's what the finished product looks like. I strained some of the juice out, get some of the dumplings first. I got the chicken and the dumplings, and then I get one with the juices. And then it's time for supper. Yeah!